Hello, hello, hello. We are the Downsized. My name is Christopher, and this is...
I'm Laraine.
And we just hang out for an hour or two and talk about GLP-1s, Zepbound, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Ozempic, anything else that's coming along, Laraglutide, Semaglutide, Tirzepatide, you name it. We always like to start with, we're not doctors. Not a doctor, not a doctor.
No.
This is our experience. Just here to have a conversation and see if we can help out a little bit. Very often there's a lot of folks on the live that can also help, so that's a good thing.
We have 11 people.
Where'd there was like 10 people that just went away. I think there's something weird going on there. They'll show up in a second.
I don't know how many people there are, but go ahead and hit the like button while you're here. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our channel, The Downsized. We make GLP-1 content every day, and it's our favorite subject. And so, we're learning new things all the time. And we like to see what other people are doing and let you know about it, because that's kind of just how we figured out how to do this, right? There wasn't a lot of guidance around when we started in September of 2023. So we've been on this journey for 2 years. We still both take a weekly shot. We're now both in maintenance. I've lost over 50 pounds. Christopher's lost over 100. So although we're not doctors, we're just regular people who have lost weight with these GLP-1 medications.
And we like to run our mouths. So it's all good.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So anyway.
What were we doing? Why did we start at 7:30?
So college kids are either... Our college kid went back to college from fall break today, and then our best friends, the Reesigs, their daughter came home for fall break today. So they wanted to have dinner, and we wanted to see their daughter. So we went and saw them. It turns out that she has pledged the sorority that I was in college. So I thought that was really cool, because my daughters wanted nothing to do with sororities. I guess it's not the same
it's not
as
their
it
thing.
was in the 80s and 90s. So, so I was going to go to her actual initiation, but we'll be on a cruise. So I was
anyway, so we had dinner with them.
So we had dinner with them. That's why we're a little late today. So glad you're here. Glad you're with us. Please. Oh, hey, Shanitha. Hello, everyone. Hope you've had a great day. Hello. Thanks for being a member.
Oh, here comes Jojo.
Jojo.
Somebody commented today, if you're out there, hey, tell that lady in the interview to put her dog away.
What?
And I responded, we don't. We're pet friendly. We don't do that. Sorry if it distracts you. Oh, Jojo. Jojo was less than graceful getting up.
Jojo. So this is our cat, Jojo.
Turn around. Don't show me your booty there, Joe.
Demands attention pretty much all the time. And so when we're home, she likes to be near us unless she's asleep or outside chasing birds or bugs or anything.
You name it.
The bugs have been getting in our house, like those little flat,
they're stink bugs. Yeah.
I think they're maybe specific to North Carolina or South Carolina.
There are other places.
I need Jojo to go on the hunt for these bugs, and she has not been taking them out.
She has no interest in that.
Usually she'll catch flies that happen to come in the house. And she's real good at that, but she's been a little off her game lately. So
let's see, we have Knock Win. Hello, Knock.
Hello.
Marcy First, she's a member. Thank you, Marcy. I think Knock is as well. Thank you very much. Becky Clark says, well, at 7 I was here, so there's a couple people. We're normally at 7 tonight, 7:30.
Sorry, Becky.
Michael Marks, who's a member as well, says finally get to join the live. That's awesome.
Hello.
Life is Good is doing this exactly right. So if you have a question, you can put a couple of question marks or Q's either way. Just so it helps me look. I try not to ignore any questions, but sometimes it gets a lot, and sometimes we miss things, but we try not to. So what does Life is Good have to say?
What's your thoughts on NAD Plus? Also, last week I decided to do injection in arm. No good. It caused body aches. Ever heard of this? And you guys are awesome. Well, thank you. NAD, I haven't tried it. I have heard people talking about it around the town. We have a GLP-1 influencer friend that has tried it and says that it's helped her ADHD. I don't know about that, but I do know that people have reported good effects for like energy and stuff like that. I don't want to add another injection. I don't want to pay for another medicine. I'm I'm kind of up to here with injections and payments. So I'm probably not going to do that anytime soon. Also last week, injection in the arm was not good. I've never done an injection in my arm over these past 2 years. I've never tried it. Christopher tried it, and
I just didn't like it. I thought it hurt in the arm. I've tried the injections and all of the recommended, but I honestly have not found any difference whatsoever in effects and side effects and whatever. I have a tendency to believe that it probably would have happened regardless of where and it's just the week and the way your body reacts. But I don't know, try it somewhere else and see if it works better for you. The thing about trying different locations is it does not cost you a single dime to try it. So if it works better for you in one place or the other, great.
Yeah, and thanks for saying we're awesome. Jojo thinks so. Right, Jojo? What you looking at, Joe? We got all kinds of equipment in here. Sometimes she remembers that there's things hanging from the ceiling and she gets distracted by them. Hey, Anna Hoover. Good evening, Christopher and Laraine. Good evening, Anna. I think Jojo's getting bored with us. Kirsten says it's my 1 year Trizanniversary, down somewhere between 45 and 49 pounds, depending on how many Mickey Mouse ice cream bars I eat. I see you were in, was it Magic Kingdom you're in today, Kristen? Or maybe that was another day, but you were celebrating maybe your brother's birthday or something. So that looked fun. Pammy, Mounjaro, Journey with Pam. Funny, a row commercial popped up fast.
Yeah, so the way YouTube works is it just serves up the ads that it thinks that are correct for it. So occasionally, actually, I don't know that I ever have. I think during the elections, I could block out some categories of things, like if I didn't want political ads or didn't want anything like that, or if there's something particularly offensive, I could punch in the site. But we don't generally know what's going and don't have any control of it. But
those ads you're seeing are specific to you.
Yeah,
so everyone is not seeing the same ads, which I think is kind of crazy. It's kind of like the magic of YouTube. It knows what you're searching for and looking for and gives you ads.
Oh, hang on. Something's going off.
What?
Something ain't right.
What's the matter? Are we not on?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Did somebody say we're not on?
Hold on. Let me go down here and see. It says video unavailable. No longer black for me. Good evening.
Oh. If you can. Oh, Michelle Frank says we're on. You're on. Okay. YouTube is saying verify it's you. I guess you can click through that, and I'll talk to the people. Oh, you have to sign in again. It's weird. All right. So yeah, we don't control the ads, and those ads are specific to you. So you never know what you're going to see. I get a lot of ads for the Body Pod scale, which is funny since we're sponsored by Body Pod. There's a link in the description if you're interested in that. And Christopher's madly typing. That's not the right password.
I don't think it is.
Check your phone. Wow, there's a lot of security around these things today. Let me take over.
You can take over that.
Take over the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. All right. So let's see. Who's this?
That's the one you just did, I think.
This is CC. Love your downsized dish segments to give perspective from various experiences. Who would be your dream guest? Well, Oprah, of course. Kelly Clarkson would also be a dream guest. But we'd like to hear from you, CC, and all you guys out there. So if you're interested in being on the Downsized Dish, you can send me an email. Laraine at the
She doesn't know where that is.
I don't know which button to push, but you have to spell my name right. Laraine at thedownsized.org.
So on Downsized Dish, the Downsized Dish interview series was designed to be you and I, regular people.
Just you and I.
We have another series that's about
like that,
doctors, researchers, you name it. And there's certainly some dream guests out there, as she mentioned, Oprah. I'd like to talk to Dr. Fatima Stanford Cody from Harvard. If you've never seen her speak, she's just fabulous, just super, super smart. A couple of the folks that actually were the inventors of semaglutide and Tirzepatide and GLP-1s, the lady from Denmark, Alade, I'm hoping to be able to get when we do Obesity Week. I mean, there's some of those just a lot smarter than me people that I'd love to get in the chair and talk to.
We're
But
not doctors. But,
yeah, but we're not doctors.
We like to talk to doctors. I love to talk to obesity certified doctors because they're such nice people. Right? I mean, how many times have we been to the doctor? My doctor always told me, well, you just need to diet and exercise. All right, I'll try harder. Turns out I could not turn off that food noise. I could not, really, I was just trying to keep myself from eating at all points in the day. So that's why I love compounded Tirzepatide, because it takes that food noise right away, and it kind of just, keeps me in check with my portions and what I'm eating and how I'm thinking or not thinking about food. It's fantastic.
All right, so it looks like the comments in YouTube have jumped on me. Yeah. So if you did a comment before 7:30, it has probably gone away. So you will have to put it back in. I apologize.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like the first comment that I can get up to is, and that's Val going, Jojo.
And Jojo's now sitting over here. Oh, here she is. So she's still here. Sorry.
And hopefully we're all doing okay, but it's still giving me an error over here.
Yeah, I think for some people it's black and for some people it's okay. And they're saying that YouTube has been glitchy and YouTube's having issues. So it may not be just us. Hey, Michelle, Envy, hi, Laraine and Christopher from Nevada. Yeah, I don't know.
Leave me a comment and make sure you can see me, please.
I think they have been, but it's kind of half and half.
Anna says, hi, Jojo.
I think they can hear us if they can't. Or do you think? Why does it say the sound is off over there?
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Michelle Frank, can you hear us?
Michelle says she can see us. Okay.
Perfect.
I'm not sure why we can't over there, but
we got a new teleprompter. So our old teleprompter was about the size of a sheet of paper.
Not even that.
Maybe the size of a small iPad, and this new one is a lot bigger. So I don't.
She can see it.
I can see it.
Anthony says, hello, everyone.
Anthony, yes, I'm manifesting Oprah. Michelle Frank says, hi, all. Hey, Michelle. Mindy says, hey. She's walking. She's listening to us walking. Okay, Mindy. Oh, so stink bugs in Michigan.
You said you thought they were only here. No, I think they're everywhere.
Are they everywhere? I mean, and they only seem to come out at certain times of the year. They seem to get worse. So, I'm just waiting for winter so all the bugs can go hibernate or go back to wherever they came from. Unless you live in Florida, then you got the bugs year round. But we had somebody else sign up for the cruise today. I was chatting with Kelly. I was texting with Kelly, and they somehow knew Mindy and Kirsten. And I'm like, oh, this person's name's not familiar. They're like, well, I think they follow, they asked for Mindy and Gina Leben. So I think they follow Gina on, what's Gina's channel?
Anchors Away, or Anchors, not Anchors Away, Anchor Moments. Anchor
Moments, yeah. So you can go follow her and her husband over there if you would like. Sunshine says, Jojo is so cute. She is so cute. She is a cute kitty. She's the cutest kitty. Anthony says, hi, Chris, Laraine, and Jojo Durham. Yes, Jojo's name is Jojo Cornelius. Yeah, somebody says his YouTube. Shanitha says his YouTube down. I think it's down for some people. 740. I don't know. It seems like YouTube might be having trouble. So if you're with us, hello. If you're having issues, I'm sorry. Maybe you can watch the replay later. I'm not even sure this is gonna be able to have a replay.
Let me try changing the network.
All right, we're changing networks. Hold, please.
We might flash. Maybe.
Now you're on the other network. Oh. Viewers will be able to find your stream once you go live.
Yeah, it's all kinds of fun tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Can you see us now is the real question.
Can I read some of these questions off the thing while you're fooling around with it? Oh, Small Things Daily is here. Hey, Megan, how are you? I guess that's a no because he just turned them off.
Okay, we can see. Okay. Well, it's the challenge is just it has to go in the right order. It gets all kinds of confusing. All right. So where were we? Can see. Nora McShiggity joined. McShiggity Pilot. Thanks for joining and becoming a member.
McShiggity.
I like McShiggity.
I don't think I've seen you around here before, McShiggity, because I think I'd remember that name because it's a name I
think you
like.
commented it, but I don't remember the name McShiggity. But that picture looks awfully.
No diggity.
Looks awfully familiar.
No diggity, McShiggity. Traveling T says, good evening. The names at the bottom banner are small font.
I'm not sure how to do that.
Anthony says, you've shown that one before.
Okay.
Hey, Anthony. Val says, not a question. I did get my body pod working. Oh, good, Val. Oh, I did have to delete the app and reload it, and it worked perfectly. Thank you for the help last night. You're welcome, Val. Val was on our members only live that we have on Tuesday nights last night, and she was having trouble getting her body pod connected. Christopher said delete, reload, and sometimes that works. So I'm glad it worked for you, Val.
You just never know.
Val's been killing it with her exercise. She's walking. She's doing Orange Theory. She's doing amazing. Nora Watson says, oh, yay, Jojo. Jojo, you got a fan club. Oh, sweet Jojo. Jojo says, what's a fan club? Can I have some more fancy feast? Jojo. Another question.
Well, I'm reading it says YouTube is having issues everywhere is what they're, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think I saw a question about did I pick my maintenance level?
I think there is one floating around there. Let's talk to the Thomas.
Oh, hey, the Thomas. Hello, CD, LD, Jojo, and the Downsized community. Hey, Thomas, how are you? McShiggity Pilot, McShiggity. Sorry, it's just fun to say. Question, I'm on 15 milligrams of Mounjaro for about 2-3 days. I'm getting chills. It comes in waves. Anyone else get this effect? I'm down 42 pounds since March 2025.
That's awesome.
So you're on 15, so you've been on this a while, and chills that come in waves. Are you just cold?
I get all kinds of chills all the time. I get them in waves. Sometimes I'm just cold 100% of the time. I'm just cold.
I also think anytime you have some weight loss like that, your body takes a minute to catch up, and maybe it doesn't catch up. So he's cold all the time. We're going out to dinner tonight. It's like 80 degrees here. He's like, let me put on my jacket. I'm like, all right. So that's not unusual. You might reach out to your doctor and just let them know. Wouldn't hurt.
Kinds of fun stuff. YouTube is having a lot of issues, Michelle Frank says.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Michelle, for letting us know. Michelle was on our members only live last night too. She was trying to hit her protein goal. So we were trying to give her protein ideas. Do you guys out there have a protein goal? Mine's between 80 to 100 grams of protein a day. I try to get 30 grams of protein at each meal and really try to start off with a good 30 gram of protein breakfast. So Freddie Man says hello and happy Wednesday. No issues here. That's great, Freddie. If you're looking for high protein breakfast ideas, go to, thanks, Marianne, I'm too funny. Go to my Facebook page, The Downsized Adventure with Laraine and Christopher. You have to answer the questions. I'll let you in. And today I put a comment up about what's your favorite 30 gram of protein, high protein, 30 gram protein breakfast. There's a ton of ideas. Now, one person said Frosted Flakes. And I said, that's not high protein. And he said, haha, just kidding. So there was a ton of really
But I do love Frosted Flakes. I haven't had them in 20 years.
a ton of really great ideas. So everything from eggs with cottage cheese to
I know how you love cottage cheese.
chia seeds and Greek yogurt to like all kinds of things. Hit the like button. Thanks for that reminder, Michelle. So yeah, I think there's about 153 people on right now. So Nora says she likes the doctor ones. I love to talk to the doctors because they're so like doctor-y.
And there will be coming out of Obesity Week. We'll be down there filming pretty much solidly for almost 3 days, doing interviews with doctors and scientists and therapists, and basically the goal is as many people as are presenting to get them to come on camera with us. We'll have a set up and say, hey, okay, that's cool research. Now tell me how it impacts real people. Tell me what we're going to do with that.
Meowsers. Cute kitty. Hello, and I hope you're having a good week. I think so. With moving up in dose, I'm curious if there are certain doses where people notice more unwanted side effects. I think it really just varies, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think there's any one dose that I don't know. I think we all react differently every dose every week, honestly.
Yeah, so you definitely don't want to move up in dose if you're losing 1 to 2 pounds a week and you're able to deal with your side effects, or you're not really having many side effects, right? If your side effects are bad, and
hang out where you are, because they're not going to get better by moving up.
Don't move up, right? You want to move up slowly to avoid those side effects and to keep your weight loss kind of rolling. So you don't have to move up if you're losing weight, right? Stay on the dose if it's working. Down in the Dale. I'm signed up for it on my 8th week. Signed up for what? The cruise? What are you signed up for?
Not sure.
On my 8th week of 2.5 and going up to 5 Sunday, 15 pounds down. Yay. Awesome. So you're losing right at that, almost 2 pounds a week mark. So I like your little down in the Dale. And he's a little
says
scale.
my Mounjaro Odyssey, maybe? I don't know, something.
A little scale that's walking. That's cute. CIJ, I was in a stall and I noticed lots of GLP-1 girlies start their day with protein coffee. I started that this week and broke my stall. High protein breakfast. Yes, CIJ. Yeah, if you're in a stall, try that high protein breakfast. I add a protein supplement to my coffee every morning, and it just starts my day off right. So even if I'm not eating so much, I'm trying to do better in the morning. But that's a great way to get it right off the bat.
Carla Hammond says, big hello, beautiful people from California. Hello in California, Carla. I wanted to know, are the doses the same with Mochi as with branded? I'm currently on Zepbound 10 milligram and I was offered 9.5 or 12 milligram doses of compound. So Mochi, like most telehealth providers, has customized their doses a little bit, depending on what your doctor's prescription is and on the compounding pharmacy and what state you in. So they may be slightly different, and they have a number of pharmacies because every state has different pharmacies that are approved. But that's not exclusive to Mochi. Every one of the telehealth companies are like that, and then they may also have things like niacinamide or B12 or things added into it, because the whole goal for that compounding pharmacy and that telehealth provider is to provide personalized medication for you such that they can stay within the rule of the law.
Yeah, so if you're on Zepbound 10 milligram and you're offered 9.5 or 12, I'd probably go with the 9.5, unless you need or want to move up for some reason. Like 9.5 and 10 are
fractionally
pretty
different,
much the same for all intents and purposes. So they do just try to do that to create a more personalized dose, and that's how they're able to make those medications. California.
There's all kinds of people going, YouTube's having issues. I had to
Mm.
restart my iPad. I'm here. Oh, Pat Shea says hello.
Hey, Shay Pat.
Oh, there's Small Things Daily. Hi,
Megan.
Small Things Daily. Hello, Megan. Megan's killing it with that YouTube channel. Make
She's
sure and
got a
check her
YouTube
out.
channel. Yep, go check her out. She homeschools. She's got 3 or 4 kids.
I don't remember.
But homeschool. End of sentence right there. Kirsten's
Oh,
memories.
she must have put it back in.
Oh, yeah. I love those Mickey Mouse ice cream bars.
Here's your maintenance weight question.
Oh, hey, Don Grant. Laraine, did you choose a maintenance or did you level out where you were at? Love you both. Thank you for all you do. Well, I had a first goal. And that was based on the Weight Watchers height and weight scales, because at the time I was doing Weight Watchers. I don't do Weight Watchers anymore. But at the time, I was trying to hit 156 pounds. I'm a 5'5", 56-year-old woman, mother of 3 children. Okay, so I got to the 156 and I started dropping my doses down just because I thought that's what I was supposed to do back a year and a half ago when this happened. And I kept losing weight. And then I got to 150. And then I said, and I think that was the goal I ended up setting with Weight Watchers was 150. And I said, well, let me give myself a little breathing room. So then I went down to 145. And I was at 145 for a while. I mean, I just kind of kept losing. So I don't think I ever just I think now I have leveled out. Okay. So then I got to 145 and I said, well, might as well go 143 because I started at 193 and that would be an even 50 pounds. So I said, let's make it 143. So now I have been 144 point something for weeks. And I don't even know how I'm able to stay on the same beginning 3 numbers. It's kind of weird. And I kind of I want to go back down to 143, but my body says, no, you're 144 now and we're just cruising along. So I'm like, all right. So that's kind of where I'm at today. I've been at 144 the past couple of months, really. And I had gotten as low as 138, but I found that I really was not eating enough protein. I was kind of losing weight without really even trying, which seems so weird to even say because when in my life has that ever happened? Never until GLP-1s. So anyway, over the summer we went on some vacations and I was eating a little bit more and my weight went up and it just kind of stayed around that 144 level. So that's where I'm at right now. And I didn't choose that with my doctor. I mean, and it's best to ask your doctor and what do they think and maybe, look at some guides online and see, but really, where do you feel your best? Where can you maintain your weight? I can pretty much maintain 143, 144 pretty easily. I don't have to feel like I'm restricting myself. I mean, I work out 3 to 5 times a week. I drink water. I do, I try to hit my protein goals of 80 to 100 grams of protein a day. So that's all about me.
That's all about you. Yeah. There's 183 of you out there, and YouTube's doing weird things. It says we only have 5 likes. So if you guys could hit the like button, that would be awesome. I don't know that I believe that number. Usually we've done a lot better than that. 184 of you out there. My name is Christopher. This is Laraine. We talk about GLP-1s. If you'd like to pop a question in the comments, please pop a question in the comments. We will get to as many as we possibly can. If you really, really have an important comment, you can always leave super chat and that'll pop it up to the top. You don't have to do that by any stretch of the imagination, but if you want to get our attention, that's the way to do it.
We were out to dinner with our friends, the Reesigs, and we're telling them, yeah, we have to get home early because we have to do this live show. And their daughter, who is she a freshman or sophomore?
Freshman.
To me, she's always going to be 4 years
old.
Because when we met
Caroline,
her,
she's a sophomore.
She's a sophomore. Now she's a sophomore in high school. And she's like, can I come on your live? what do people do on your live? I said, well, they ask us questions. She goes, can I ask you what your favorite color is? So if you see a little girl named Caroline pop in here, she's not little. She's now actually taller than me. And she plays soccer, and she's the goalie, and she plays lacrosse, and she's the goalie, and she's on a travel team. And
fabulous kid. Oh, Mindy says, I convinced Grant Campbell and his wife to come on the cruise. So Grant, he's a North Carolina state representative, right? Grant Campbell.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
That's who. That's who Kelly told me booked the cruise today, and he said he wanted to be near Mindy's room, and I said, do we know?
I think Grant Campbell is a North Carolina state representative, so
Mindy must know who this is.
Mindy must know.
So his room will be near yours, Mindy. Cece said, is Grant Campbell? I gotta look that up. Somebody look that up.
I did, and he's a North Carolina state.
When did you look that up?
Well, you talked for.
Oh, you were looking
20 minutes.
You were reading ahead in the comments.
See Grant Campbell, North Carolina House of Representatives.
He must be down there where Mindy lives, because he's not our.
Yeah, he's not ours. No.
Okay. Is he a Democrat or a Republican?
It doesn't matter.
We're not talking politics here. All right.
It doesn't matter. He's coming on the cruise, and we'll have a fabulous time.
Awesome. Cece says, Gianna Beasley, a registered dietitian, was a fantastic guest. Yes, she was. She could come back for a series and chat on each chapter of her new book. She was a mix of science-based and very relatable, too. Absolutely. Gianna is, she likes to call her nickname is your GLP-1 bestie. And she is, how old is Gianna? I don't think she's quite 30.
27, 28, something like that. I don't know. She's
smart.
Not real.
She's a registered dietitian. She is on Instagram. So if you want more Gianna Beasley content, check out her Instagram page. And I think she was talking about on our interview, she has a separate podcast.
But I'm sure we can. Gianna was like, I'll be happy to come back on anytime. So we'll get Gianna back on for sure.
Yeah, no, I read her book. It's in our Amazon store if you're interested. It's called The GLP-1 Solution, and it's just really a series of tips and why she's telling you these are tips. And it really had some interesting things in there that I hadn't heard before. Oh, wow, I'm not a registered dietitian, so.
She went to school and all.
Yeah, she knows a lot more stuff than I do, for sure. So check that out. Genealogy Mama. Caremark switch left me sick for weeks. Oh, I'm sorry. Doctor doing appeal to get Zepbound back. I used Lorraine's code and signed up for Mochi. Had an appointment Saturday and ordered compounded Tirzepatide from Drug Crafters. Hope it ships soon. Yeah, I'm sorry about the whole Caremark debacle. So now your Zepbound is not covered. I have been using Mochi for almost 2 years now, so I'm glad that you were able to order some compounded Tirzepatide. They've been shipping really fast, like super fast. So I hope you'll get it probably next week.
Monica Myers, thanks for joining.
That's Monique.
Oh, Monique, I believe you are correct.
Oh, she came to our.
Oh, she did. Yeah. She had the little boy,
Florida,
right?
Yeah. Our Florida meetup. Mm-hmm. She came with her little boy in the wagon. The little boy was just.
He was cool. He was chill.
Hanging out.
And Genealogy Mama also joined. Thank you for joining Club Downsize.
Thank you.
And we'll have a super chat from Mindy clarifying that, yes, they have the same name, but that is not the same person.
Thank you, Mindy, because that would have been like super awkward if I had been, hello, Representative Grant, and he would have been like, you're a crazy lady. So thanks, Mindy. Grant is a GLP-1 friend who lives in West Virginia. Different guy, same name. Thanks for that clarification. Barbeth says she was refreshing. I think talking about Gianna. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Gianna was fun.
Rosemary Welch. Thanks, Michelle and Travis, for the welcome. So thanks for being a member, Rosemary. Sini, does anyone sometimes get that feeling of hunger when it's wearing off and looking forward to eating something nice? LOL, yes. So,
and that's okay. That's the way it works.
This is me right now today. So today is Wednesday night. We take our shots on Friday. So the half-life of your GLP-1 is about 5 days. So mine's on the way out, right? So today we went and ate dinner with friends. I had a very lovely piece of halibut with a kale salad. Actually, it probably wasn't enough food now that I think about it. And we got home and I started thinking about what else can I eat? What do I have in the pantry? Do I need, and I didn't, I'm like, I don't need anything else to eat. I'm not hungry.
saying that was a nice dinner. You shouldn't.
It was a very nice dinner. It was, I just started, maybe it's food noise. Maybe I'm just thinking about food. And I also started thinking about this weekend, we're going to a wedding in my family. My cousin's daughter's getting married. So I started thinking about, wonder what they're going to have at the wedding. Wonder if I can just hold out till Saturday. There'll be some sweet treats around.
Well, it'll be wedding cake. You know you'll have a wedding cake.
Yeah, so that does happen to me, especially toward the end of the week.
Travis, who's a member, Travis LR says, CNL, I suggested Downsize to a friend with lots of questions about GLP-1s today. He is impressed and is binge watching all day today. All right, well, there's 800 videos or almost 800 videos, so tell them.
Tell them your favorites.
Yeah.
Well, and you can also share this video with a friend. So maybe you have a friend who is thinking about a GLP-1 or, and thank you for the super chat, Travis. So to hit the share button, you can text it to them. You can email them the link. You can, I don't know, there's lots of ways to share it. And when you share the video, then it tells YouTube that, oh, people like this video and we should suggest it to more people searching for the same topic. So it helps us out. So yeah, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I think we're about to hit 30,000 subscribers. So that's pretty cool. Hey, Tammy Runyon. Hello. How you doing, Tammy? Tammy lives out on the West Coast. She's been a long time watcher. Elizabeth.
Peachy.
Oh, I had halibut for the first time today. Very yummy. Down 62 pounds in 5 months on Zepbound. I'm only 5'1" and still need 150 to lose. All right. Well, you're doing it. You're doing great. I like to get fish when I'm eating out because fish has just naturally a very low number of calories. So you know how restaurants like to add oil and whatever. So I figure if I start with the lowest, the lowest calorie protein, I can't go wrong. But this halibut was their special. It was fresh. It was delicious. MVP, yay, I'm in. Hi, everyone. Hey, MVP. Sorry if you're having some trouble there. YouTube seemed to be glitching. Simi says, thanks for answering me, guys. Oh, you're welcome. Glad that we could answer you. Maggie Teagarden said, I bought Gianna Beasley's book, and I think every GLP-1 user should have it. I found it full of info and very helpful. Well, that's great. I think it's a great book. I highly recommend it. If you haven't watched that interview I did with Gianna Beasley, who's a registered dietitian, when this is over, go over there and watch it, or watch it when you have some time. She really is very easy to listen to. It was a very easy conversation. So check it out.
Linda says the like button. Yeah, so I mean, it says there's 190 of you out there and 5 likes. So that's got to be broken.
No.
There's no way that's correct because you guys are always very good to us with likes.
Make sure you hit subscribe. We'd be just as happy with a subscribe as a like today since the like button is broken. Well, that's a bummer, Linda. All right. Well, Linda lives down there in South Carolina. Thanks for being a member, Linda. We met Linda at a meetup we did not too long ago. We're doing some more meetups coming up.
Marianne says she just lost video, but she can hear us.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's just a hot mess out there. I
I don't know what's happening, y'all. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for hanging with us. We'll keep talking. Otter fan says, just got my ad for drug. Funny. All right. Jojo is sleeping on the paper that tells me the meetups. Sorry, Joe. I gotta get this. Jojo says, all right. So let me tell you about the meetups that we have coming up. Should I tell them about the meetups?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, well, there you have it. And there it is. Atlanta. So we're going to be at Obesity Week. There's a conference called Obesity Week. Isn't that the worst name for a conference ever? It's a conference of doctors presenting like
researchers mostly. Yeah.
And interesting topics about obesity. And we'll be teaching other doctors how to talk to patients about obesity. So we're going to be
and
there
mice research and all kinds of crazy stuff.
We like doctors, and we like research, and we're hoping to get some doctors to
bunch of
interview
content
and tell us, and then we can tell you about their research. Makes sense, right? So we're going to be in Atlanta the night before. We're going to have a meet and greet Monday, November 3rd, and it's going to be at the
Westin Peachtree Plaza.
the Westin Peach. I was going to say that. I have it right. From 6 to 8 p.m. So go to our website at thedownsized.org, and you can register for that and check out the details. Then we're going to be in Las Vegas because Christopher Durham wanted to see Kelly Clarkson.
That is true.
And for a while, we were on a quest to interview Kelly Clarkson, and
I'm still poking her. I'm still trying a little bit. I don't think it's going to happen.
Then
but
her ex-husband died, and it just didn't seem appropriate. So we kind of pushed that off. But we still have tickets to fly to Vegas, and we still have Kelly Clarkson concert.
And we're still going to come meet all of you.
So we're still going to do it Saturday, November 15th, 2025. And that backs up to another event that we were doing for our other business. So we were going to be in Chicago anyway, and we said, hey, let's meet up with our Downsized viewers because they're the best. So we're going to be in Chicago on is that on Tuesday? Somebody told me maybe it wasn't Tuesday. Yeah, it is Tuesday. At an Embassy Suites in downtown Chicago. So check out our website to get all the details.
And they're free. You go sign up, and they're very casual. Come meet.
It's just like, hey, how you doing? Here's a Jojo pin and maybe some stickers. So you can come chat with us. Chat with other GLP-1 users. That's been the best thing to see is seeing other people on GLP-1s. Meet and discuss their issues and discuss their success stories and their,
well, and you can openly have a conversation with people who are having similar experiences to you, because so many of us live in this space where we're the only one at our office or our church or wherever it is we write,
maybe
our neighborhood or whatever.
The man who came and met us in
Charlotte.
He said, I haven't told a single person. I've watched you guys all the time.
And he had never commented.
I don't even have a YouTube handle, but I watch you guys all the time. And I can't talk to anybody else about this because I haven't even told my mom. So, if that's you, that's where these meetups and our Downsized cruise and even these live chats are really super helpful, just to feel like you're not alone in this journey, right? Because it's a lot. I mean, we're giving ourselves injections. We're like finding a whole new way to eat and relate to food. And, sometimes you just want somebody to ask some questions to. Nora Lawson says, I like to have people watch the one with Christopher talking about going to the doctor and saying obese on his chart.
My wife laughs. Yeah.
Well, you want to tell them that story?
There's a whole video, but so she says when Laraine looked, I found it very sincere and made me tear up a bit. It's, I think it's interesting. So many people think that men don't care and that obesity doesn't really affect us. And I think the reality we've discovered after talking to so many people is that it affects everybody, and it affects everybody in different ways. And it's not a competition, right? I don't have to have more pain than you do or vice versa. So for me, I had gone to the doctor, and my normal doctor was on vacation or somewhere wasn't in.
You went for an
ear infection.
His ear hurt.
Right. For an ear infection. It was clearly an ear infection. And I saw a lady doctor who was very nice to me at the time and kind of wrote me a prescription for the ear infection and all of this. And we get home, and Lorraine's looking at My Chart, which is the app. Right.
I always like to look at all the details.
All the details. And right there at the top, morbidly obese.
You went in for an ear infection. And she made a note. She typed in a note, morbidly obese.
Now, what that had to do with my ear infection, I have no idea, but it's...
Well, maybe if you weren't fat, you wouldn't have got an ear infection.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, what? That's... What? I'm sure she wasn't thinking that. I hope she
anyway, it's all those little aggressions, right?
That.
Those little things that just build on themselves. And that certainly wasn't what pushed me over the edge, but it was one of many things. mostly honestly was the realization that my mother had died a few years older than I was when we started these medications from complications due to her obesity. She had heart issues and she dropped dead one night. Okay, and it's to look at that and go, my kids, I would not be there for them to get married, for them to see grandchildren. It's those things that when you talk about why you're doing this, it's figuring out those things that matter to you, and everybody has a different thing that matters to you. So it's these medications are life changing and they're life extending.
Life extending, for sure. I mean, and it's about your health, right? I mean, it's about your health. Even if, maybe I started originally because I wanted to wear a smaller size, or because my parents told me for my whole life that I needed to be smaller. But now it's about health, right? It's about health. It's about fine-tuning our journey. It's about finding foods that work best for us, that make us feel our best, that give us the most energy for our day, energy to be around our loved ones and our kids and our friends and our family and our pets. So, it's really all about health.
But I mean, it's interesting in talking to men, and there's a couple of videos I've done directly to men, and certainly lots of women have watched them. But from men, the most common thing I get back from them is, I thought I would be dead by 40, or I wouldn't see 50. Right. So it's, the fact that they can wake up and walk up steps or tie their shoe or whatever it is, and you go, and we've done interviews, and I continue to look for more interviews because it's powerful to see people tell their stories, and we learn something every time. Grandma's pocketbook. Do you have some mints or maybe some butterscotch?
Some Kleenex.
My grandma always had a $5 bill, which was a lot in like 1976.
Did she give it to you?
Yeah, my grandma always had a $5 bill, which in 78, to a kid that was a lot of money. She'd be like, "Don't tell your mama." She had those little like puffy mints that would dissolve in your mouth.
Grandma or your Nana?
My southern grandma.
Yeah.
And she would give me $5. So
we
loved her.
Twin brother too.
I don't know. I never asked. I didn't want to spoil it. I didn't tell him. No.
Grandma gave me $5. What'd she give you?
Ice creams were $0.25 and Matchboxes were like $1. Matchbox cars were like $1. I mean, I could live like a king for $5. Anyway, so payment plan for the cruise. I think the deposit is $100. And then once you pay the deposit, you can pay on it as you go. So you can basically, you just do the deposit, and then you can go on every week, every month, and pay whatever's appropriate to you, as long as you have to have it all paid off.
A couple months.
A couple months out. I think it's 60 days in advance.
So we leave June 4th. So you would probably need to have it paid off by 1st of April, I would say.
But if you have a question, so go on the downsized.org, click on the cruise button. There's a big picture of a cruise ship and Laraine and I there, and you can call our travel agent, Kelly, and she can walk you through all the options. The rooms the interior rooms, I think, were $800 and something a person.
I mean, we tried to find a really good price, right? So, and if you're going in with somebody else, if you're double occupancy, the price per person is lower. So if you have a roommate or somebody you're traveling with, but yeah, call Kelly, work with her. She just got back from a cruise. She was on actually the Wonder of the Seas, and they went to the Royal Caribbean private island where we're going in June, and so she could give you a nice description of that. I think, and she's funny because while she's a travel agent, cruises kind of weren't her thing when she first started helping us with cruises. And I said, "Oh, you just got back from a cruise. Do you like cruising now?" She goes, "Well, ever since I went on the Downsized cruise with y'all, I really like cruising now." So we got her into it. So yeah, call Kelly, talk to her about it. There's no like set payment plan, but I think the payments will go through the travel agent, and you can set up a schedule with her, basically whatever works for you. I think we have to pay I don't think we've paid for our cruise yet. No. I probably need to make her some payments. Shawnee says, I don't count calories, and I find I can eat what I want as I just get fuller quicker, and I've lost around 5 stone. All right, UK, but eat mostly sensible, high protein, and
That's
drink
awesome.
my water if I want. Take
5 stone.
All right, 5 stone. How much is 5 stone? Is a stone like 12 pounds?
Hard to say.
Like 60 pounds.
I feel like I should know the answer to that, and I sure don't.
Yeah, we don't. I know that there's 2.2 pounds per kilogram, right? Or 2.2. Yeah, 2.2. Divide kilograms by 2.2, and that gives you pounds. Yeah, I don't really count calories.
Oh, that's 70 pounds.
Yeah, awesome. Wow, that's a lot. And to not have to count calories and still be able to lose weight, I think is like the best thing ever. Make sure you're eating enough. I would track your protein. Make sure you're getting your body the nourishment it needs, because it's a very freeing feeling to not think about food all the time, and to not be hungry like we used to be hungry, and to be able to eat a smaller portion and be satisfied with that. So make sure you're eating your protein first. Make sure you're giving your body those vitamins and minerals and fiber and other things too.
Oh, and I just got an email while I was doing that from Dr. Robin Pashby. If you guys watched Dr. Robin Pashby, she did the fabulous presentation. Well, I wasn't, but it just popped up when I was looking up how many, what the stone thing was. And anyway, Dr. Robin Pashby, what was her presentation called? What the things we carry, or what we carry?
She did an amazing presentation we saw live in person called Things We Carry, or the weight of the things we carry.
Yep.
We put a recording of it up on our YouTube channel. We also did an interview with her. You can search Dr. Robin Pashby, and that should come up.
She's presenting. She's presenting at Obesity Week, so I invited her
to come. Say she's coming?
Right, so she's scheduled a time to come do another interview. So she's going to tell us about what she's presenting at Obesity Week. She's going to
be at our meetup too.
She is coming to the meetup as well. That is right. Let's see where we were. Here we go.
Zenaid Valadez just ordered from Lilly Direct today for the first time. Awesome. All right.
They're pretty quick, I hear. So we have not gotten it from them, but obviously good stuff. MVP says, question, I'm doing my 6-month DEXA follow-up tomorrow. Are you two planning to do a follow-up on your DEXA? I am not. No.
We just did one a month ago or something. At the DEXA place, the DEXA owner suggested that we do follow-ups every 6 months to track our progress. You can certainly do that. The place where we went was kind of expensive, honestly, and I don't know.
I thought it was too expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was a really good coupon, but I honestly am quite happy with the data I'm getting from our body pod. I don't have a particular need for another DEXA scan. We're
sponsored by the Hume Body Pod, and we did a video where we compared our DEXA scan results to what the Body Pod said, and they were really, really close, like mind-blowingly within 1% close. And then to our regular, less expensive scale, they were off considerably in terms of body fat.
Well, it's not even that terrible, though. Honestly, you could still use that scale.
Body fat difference. For women, I think the weight was the same. Like weight is the weight. Like everything measures weight. It's fantastic. But if you're looking at body composition, fat percent, muscle, you can get a DEXA scan. You can use the Hume Body Pod to get a really realistic picture of that.
If I could get it for $50, I'd probably do it again. I think we paid
over $100.
I think we paid $150, which.
Well, we also got the RMR test, so the rest.
And I would never do that again.
Oh, I was fascinated by that. I love that.
I hated that test.
You can go watch our DEXA video. If you type in DEXA into the search, it'll probably pop right up.
Yeah, I thought that was a very unpleasant test. I did not like that.
Well, I've done more unpleasant things in the name of
well, I don't
breathing
need to,
through a tube with my nose.
I don't need to do it again.
Minutes. Tom Wall says, getting ready to switch to Mochi from Eli Lilly Direct to save some money. All right. What is your code to save money on the first prescription? Are you ready? Do you have a pen and paper?
Is your mic on?
No.
Thank you, Dennis.
Okay, can you hear better now? Okay. My Mochi code is QIY, the letter O, not 0, but the letter O, and then the number 8. And you go to joinmochi.com. If you use that code, you can save $40 on your first order. So thank you very much. Yeah, let me know what you think about Mochi. And thanks for Dennis for letting me know my mic wasn't on. I guess I was just close enough to yours to where it was coming in.
It'll pick it up. It's just you're probably distant.
User error, I guess what they call it. Sunshine says, and Zanaid, you'll like it. I'm into my 5th month using Lilly Direct and still on 2.5 milligram vials. Awesome. Yeah, the Lilly Direct vials are, they don't go through insurance. It comes to your house, you pay online and all of that stuff. And I think I don't remember how much the first dose is, the 2.5, but all the other doses are $4.99 a month, as long as you reorder every 45 days. Whereas Mochi, you can get compounded Tirzepatide for $199 a month plus a $79 a month membership fee, and that covers your doctor visits and your nutritionist visits. I really like the nutrition. I need to set up another nutritionist visit. I haven't done that in a while. I thought that was really helpful. So check that out. Sunshine says, hope I get to meet you in Chicago. I hope so too, Sunshine.
Mybrid says, question, so how do you know that the shot is working, or if you have bad group of shots that are not up to spec? I'm on day 2 of my shot, Mounjaro 15 milligram shot, a number 40. Continue. Let me see if I can find the rest. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. I've only felt the shot work 1 month in the last 4 months. So you may not. So the first question is, are you seeing other benefits? So are you losing weight? Are you seeing food noise diminish? That sorts of things. I can tell you the odds of a Mounjaro or Zepbound shot being a bad batch are almost 0. The way those are manufactured, they're manufactured in clean, sterile plants in clean rooms with basically robots that really there's only humans pouring the ingredients in and putting the pins in, and it all gets assembled and weighed, and it's science, right? It's coming out. So the odds of those being bad are pretty slim.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, what do you mean by you feel it working? Is your appetite suppressed? Is your food noise turned off? Are you able to physically eat less food? I've been on the shot now for 2 years. I've taken it every week, except a couple here and there, for 2 years. I don't suggest skipping your shot, but sometimes you need to if you have a colonoscopy or something like that. But anyway, and I sometimes feel like, is it still working? And the answer is yes, it's still working. Like, my food noise for the most part is turned off. My hunger levels are normal. I can eat a normal portion of food. I am not woken up by my brain when I'm in the middle of something, working at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to go in the pantry and survey all the food that's there and look for something to eat. Like, I don't do that anymore. So, I think we just get really used to, you're on your, what did you say, 40th shot or something like that. You just get really used to the effects, and I kind of forget what it was like before, right? So that's why I really encourage you to keep good notes, keep a journal, keep a log of every week your weight loss and how you're feeling. And, if you're having side effects, journal it. If you feel like it's not working, like what do you think is missing? Like,
the other question is, you're on Mounjaro, so do you have type 2 diabetes, or is there something else going on with you? Very often that's written for type 2 diabetes, and if your A1C has been been staying in check, that it's
It's
working.
working.
It's
Right.
working,
Yeah.
right? So it's hard to say, but if you're losing weight, if your food noise is better, if your A1C is better, if you're seeing better inflammation, it's working. There is a small percentage of people that these medications do not work for.
But if you've
And
lost weight,
we
it's
see it, but
working.
if you've lost weight,
Yeah.
they're working.
Um,
All right, we got
and
this
one thing I want to say is maybe try a different injection site. I mean, there's no clinical evidence that proves any one is better than
That's
any
true.
other, but it's something you could try. And some people do report feeling different at different injection sites. Something to try.
Piggy asks no more. How you doing, Piggy?
Hey, Piggy. Of all your Q&A sessions and live stream, what was the most cringe question you received?
That's a good question.
Usually the really cringe ones, he just deletes and blocks. And
well, I mean, we've had some really rude questions for sure.
Yeah, occasionally somebody
occasionally
causing
oddly,
trouble comes
like
around.
we get groups of them that are sometimes oddly sexual, and then I just have to ban people. Or fortunately, we have moderators out there that help with that.
Yeah.
We get gray market people that want to talk about stuff like that all of the time. We just don't do that.
Well, sometimes we get questions that like about topics that I just don't personally believe in. And I'm not a doctor, but I have my own beliefs. Like, I don't believe in intermittent fasting. Maybe you do, and maybe it works for you, but I think it's
not our thing.
I think it's insert and explicative here. I don't believe in it. I think you need to be eating to fuel your body. I don't like weighted vests. So
Laraine will tell you what she doesn't like.
So sometimes people like ask us these questions about this, like, I've been intermittent fasting for 48 hours and I think it's the greatest thing and I think everybody should do it. Don't you agree? Well, no, I don't agree. Like, if that's what you like, this channel probably isn't for you.
Yeah, and Piggy,
but you might find some other great information.
The other thing that's interesting is while we live immersed in this world, and it seems like everybody knows about GLP-1s and semaglutide and Tirzepatide, the reality is most people still don't. And the number of people coming into this that just had a friend who lost weight, that just saw it on TV, the number of people coming into it every day is just mind-blowing. So we get a lot of the same questions over and over again because it's new to them, right? They don't know that we said it last week and the week before and the week before. And that's okay. We'll tell you what we know again, and we'll make another video about it, because about every 6 months, honestly, I have to make, there's 2 or 3 videos we make very similar to, because it's for those people that are just starting. They don't go back and find video number 122.
Or maybe YouTube just doesn't suggest our old videos after a time. So
beyond that, I don't like questions.
I can't really point to any questions that are, sometimes people ask us like personal, like husband and wife questions, and that's not something I'm going to.
She doesn't like has your sex life changed questions.
None your business. None your damn business, right? So that I don't.
And occasionally we'll have somebody pop on
that's just, if I don't like it.
That's just anti-GLP-1
and just trying to like be like, you should just diet and exercise.
I mean, there was a guy, I don't remember what the guy's name was, but he was doing the whole beef, butter, bacon, I don't remember, whatever that.
The carnivore people.
And
we're going to piss off a lot of people right now.
He was coming for us, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's not this. This is the medical treatment of the disease of obesity. We don't talk about that. There's other channels. Feel free to go for it. And I think eventually one of the moderators kicked him out because he just went away.
We've got Dennis as a moderator, Darium, Mindy, I think Mark Clemens is a moderator, Barb is a moderator. So Michelle. So thank you to our moderators for keeping those people in check. You posted that one. Yes, Sunshine. Hopefully we will get to meet.
Oh, that's the second part of that question. Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. There's the code.
Here's my code.
Thanks, Darium.
That is the letter O. Thanks for putting it as a little letter O, Darium. It's also in the description if you want to copy and paste. Tanya Sparkle says, just hit 3 months and 30 pounds. I'm so happy, but also worried I'm losing too fast. 3 months times 4 weeks is 12 weeks divided by 30 pounds is a little over 2 pounds a week. I think you're fine, Tanya. I don't think you're losing too fast. Panicked and ordered Nutrafol for my hair. LOL. I've heard people say that Nutrafol works. My hairdresser recommended it to me when I was in the middle of my weight loss and I saw my hair getting a little thinner. I mean, it's vitamins, right? So
I had a full head of hair. I had a fro to begin with.
Christopher had a full head of hair at the beginning of his weight loss journey. No,
he didn't.
I met him 22 years ago. He had about the same.
No, I had more than this, but not a lot.
Maybe a little bit more on the top. So, yeah. Becky Clark says, so many don't understand our reason for taking GLP-1 medications. Sometimes this channel is all the support folks get. Yeah, and the holidays are coming and you're going to see people maybe in your family you don't see all the time. And they're going to say, how'd you lose all this weight? And what are you going to tell them? Or what are you just going to not tell them? It's up to you. Juanita Jones says, good evening. I appreciate how authentic you two are, as well as others in the GLP world.
Thank you, Juanita. Thank you for being a member. Grandma's Pocketbook says, question, I know multi-dose vials aren't supposed to be used for over 28 days once pierced, so how do people who microdose or split their shots during the week do this without risking contamination? They
use them beyond 28
days.
they
just do it. I mean, it's not...
wipe the top of your vial off, keep it refrigerated, don't let it set out.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, regardless of how many shots you take, good sanitation practices are vital. Wash your hands before you take your shot. Use an antiseptic wipe to wipe off the top of the vial. As she said, wipe the location. Honestly, look at your refrigerator that you're keeping it in. If there's moldy, gross stuff in there, that is going to get on your vial.
Yeah.
You don't want that. That's bad stuff. We typically will recommend, hey, keep it in a closed box, a lot of a sealed Rubbermaid sort of thing, even if you can keep the light away from it.
Yeah.
The better you can maintain it, the better it's going to be. But I mean, people are definitely doing it past 28 days.
It's not going to like magically go bad after 28 days. It might lose some effectiveness. Now, I am not a doctor. I am not a pharmacist. Have I used a vial beyond 28 days? Yes, I have. You decide what is best for you. CD, you are right. Men care a lot, but are intimidated to admit it.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I worked at the corporate headquarters for Lowe's Home Improvement, and I worked at the corporate headquarters for Food Line, the regional grocery chain. So they got about 800 to 1,000 stores now. I can tell you, sitting in the audience at corporate meetings, when there'd be 1,000 of us or whatever, you sit, and up there on the stage, there'd be all the executives, all of them. And there was nobody overweight.
Nope.
Nobody. And you were not getting, they never told you that. They never wrote it down on your review, but it wasn't going to happen.
Well, I mean, I was a clothing buyer for, 20 years. That was my job, like coming out of college and stuff. And, I was heavier. So I bought Missy sizes or plus sizes. And to get those better departments or to buy bigger departments or to move up, there were no heavy people working in fashion merchandising. Michelle Frank says, my chart would say we had a conversation about obesity since I was obese. No doctor has ever had a conversation with me about obesity. Even getting on meds, I brought it up. Yeah, and, in talking to some of these doctors, they realize that doctors are human beings, like you and me. And sometimes they're afraid to bring it up to you. And if you're not going to bring it up, they're not going to bring it up. But you think, well, they're my doctor and they should bring it up. And it's hard. It's hard for them. That's, again, if you can find an obesity medicine certified doctor, that all that confusion just kind of goes away because they're there to help you with your disease of obesity. Anthony says, wow, which video is the ear infection story? That doctor was diabolical.
It's in several videos. I don't know which one she's specifically referring to.
I think we talked about it. I don't even remember. We've talked about it a couple times.
But yeah, that was just, I mean, when you kind of see it in black and white like that, you're like, damn, that's harsh. Like,
Grandma's Pocketbook says that Tanya Sparkles. I wonder about that too, referring to the muscle loss. Lost
What
20
muscle
pounds
loss?
first. Tanya's prior comment was worried about muscle loss. And my muscles are shaky. I mean, that's one of the reasons people get the scales like the Body Pod or do the DEXA scans, is so that you get a baseline for where you are, because weight's only one measure. And as
Eat your protein.
as we get older, it's certainly a concern.
Anytime you lose weight, you're going to lose some muscle along with fat. That's just the way it works. You can help reduce that by eating high protein, right? So I try to eat around 100 grams of protein a day. How much protein is right for you? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but you can go online to some calculators and plug some things in and get like an estimate. So, I don't really subscribe to the super high protein end of the scale. But, if you're getting 25, 30 grams of protein at breakfast, at lunch, and at dinner, you're going to be doing well for the most part. So, but, it doesn't hurt to look at those calculators and see. Also, weight-bearing exercises, right? They're going to help you keep your muscle. When you lift a weight, it sends a signal to your brain to grow that muscle. The muscle is in use. It needs to be maintained. It needs to be strengthened. So,
so you lost 20 pounds the first month. So that's pretty fast the first month. Now, typically, some of those first few weeks, there's inflammation, there's water. I think I lost 17 pounds my first month. I would also look at what percentage that was of your body weight, because there's other factors than just the number of pounds. So we don't know where you started, how tall you are. There's a lot of things going on there. And I would not expect to maintain a 5 pound a week loss forever. Your body is going to slow down and go, hang on, such that you get to that 0.5 to 2 pound range. And I think, like I said, my first month was 17 pounds, and the first couple of months I was in that range. But over the course of the 70 plus weeks, it got down to about a 1.3 pound average. So,
0.5 to 2 pounds a week is the average. Meowsers, I lost about 20 pounds since June, and a friend commented last week on my weight loss. I told her the truth. Hopefully, I'm normalizing this treatment. I typically don't share. And that's fine. You can choose who you share your story with. Some people maybe, you just don't care to give them your time and effort. But some people, you maybe want to tell them, and maybe you're doing them a favor by telling them about it, because maybe that's something they might be interested in as well. And I think the more we talk about it with our friends, with our family, on the internet, the more normalized it will become.
Well, so there's 244 of you out there. Hello, I'm Christopher. This is Laraine. We're the Downsized. You can ask questions. We'll celebrate your wins. Starting, new car, new grandbaby. It doesn't matter to me. And there's 28 likes out there. So, and what happened? I was just looking. I have a monitor of YouTube up here. It jumped from 5 to 28 like in seconds. So hit that like button and see if it's working for us, because it didn't look like it was working before.
Oh, it just went to 30.
Oh yeah, see, it's moving again. Yay!
Hit the like button. Doesn't cost you anything, right? All right.
Nora says she'll try and find that video. I don't know which one she's referring to. Michelle says, thanks for being a member. Michelle says, Meowser, I tell anyone who asks.
Me too, Michelle. It's Darian. We are so glad you're all here tonight. If you haven't already done so, please hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you, Darian. When my more follow-ups started January 13th, 2025, currently down 65 plus pounds, would like to drop another 80 pounds. All right, well, you're doing great. Just keep going, right? We don't go off and on of this medication. I'm pretty much on forever.
Vera, who has that cruise ship in the background, it looks like, says, I don't think MDs have a normal turn, just morbidly obese instead of obese or overweight. Maybe she's using old school. Well, no. So there's classifications of overweight, and one set, depending on which school she went to, basically breaks it out by BMI, and there's and I won't get them right, but if you Google it, there's charts of it. There's overweight, and then there's several different classifications of
class
obesity.
2, class
That's a
3.
separate. So there's one's by class 1 through 4,
Oh,
and there's one that has
Just
moderate
obese.
obesity, morbid obesity. Morbid obesity is 40 is a BMI of 40 or more. So it just depends on which medical school she went to, but it's painful.
I mean, at the time you were what, around 300 pounds and
Yeah.
5'10".
Oh,
So
I was, yeah.
I
I mean, she wasn't wrong.
She wasn't
The
wrong.
real question was, first of all, are you surprised? I mean, it's not. I know. I used to tell my
Right.
doctor that all the time. I'm like, dude, I'm fat, I'm old, and I'm bald. If you've got a shot for any of those, I'll take them.
I'll take them. Right.
Turns out
What
I
do you
am.
mean I'm fat? Yeah, we know, right? We already know. Like, people tell us all that maybe you should lose weight. Don't you think I already know that? Don't you think I didn't wake up and choose to be overweight? I didn't wake up and choose obesity. Like, nobody would choose that, right? Like, please give me a break. So, but it's just kind of, it can be hurtful to see it written down. Sunshine says, at Zenaid, I hope the brand vial or injection pen will work better for you. Sending you good vibes.
Yeah, the awesome.
Zepbound goes smoothly and better for you. The Thomas. I'm the gentleman that hasn't told anyone. Oh, hey, Thomas. I finally got an account and have commented several times now. Your meetups are the best. Okay. The Thomas. So this, okay. Thanks, Thomas, for the reminder, because I thought that was just such a great story. How you were like, I haven't even told my mom. I think you did tell your mom in recent months, right? But that's great.
Small Things Daily. Megan says, Megan, I hope your mama's doing okay. She sent me a picture of her in a cute head wrap today. The book Outlive was my catalyst. I too started thinking about all of my family who has died too early from obesity-related diseases. It was a big wake-up call. Megan, we're going to have to get you back on the channel.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when we see my dad's side of the family relatives this weekend. You know, one of my cousins was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I think she's on Mounjaro. I think my other cousin is also on a GLP-1 medication. I mean, you know, that side of the family has just always been heavier. So, you know, you can definitely see it. My grandmother was heavy, you know, my whole life, certainly.
Grandma's pocketbook says, LOL, my pocketbook is tiny, reflecting my income. Okay, well, you know, we all do what we got to do. Wilco4391 says, question, up to 1.7 dose on Wegovy now and haven't had any weight loss. Still getting food noise, can't get Mounjaro here. Anyone else had a lack of results with Wegovy? There's certainly people out there that do, and I think we saw a doctor present when we went to the Obesity Coalition's. I don't remember the number exactly, but I think it was like 15 or 20% of people that just did not respond well to one of the other medications. I mean, honestly, that's one of the reasons that we're excited to see new GLP-1s come along, because there are definitely people who have worked their way through Wegovy and it didn't work well for even Tirzepatide, Mounjaro, and Zepbound. You know, and so the orforglipirons, the retatrutides, the amylins, the dulaglutides, there's all kinds of stuff coming.
This is my sample Wegovy pen we got at the Obesity Action Coalition. This one says 2.4. I guess you've got some more doses to go up through. So, you know, work with your doctor, see what they think.
I mean, theoretically, we get to a day someday in the future where there's genetic testing, and we know they're already doing genetic testing that can identify which ones of these drugs will work for your kind of obesity, and the doctor can write the right drug for you. But, you know, is it 3 years from now, 5 years from now? I don't know, but there will be a time when it happens. So hang in there, and you know, if there's, you say you can't get Mounjaro there at all. I'm not sure where you are, Wilco.
Not sure where you are.
Wilco's a good band. I don't know if you know the band Wilco. One Mybrid. Yep, that's me, Chris. Working on the heart is
number one.
Number one.
She meant to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Becky Clark. Hi, Darium and other guys on GLP-1. So glad you all are here hanging out with the ladies. We need support and information. Well, of course, Darium's here. Where else would he be, right? We need to get an interview with you, Darium. Anna Hoover says, that is awful, Christopher. Yeah. Juanita Jones. My grandma always had horehound candy at her house. What is that?
I have never had
I
horehound
loved
candy.
it even as a kid. My grandmother always had a candy dish in her living room. And when she died, my uncle sent the candy dish to my father. Only he didn't pack it very well, or it didn't ship very well, and the lid broke. So I remember it was like Father's Day or Christmas or something. I went on eBay and I searched for this particular candy dish, and I found another one, and I got the lid that fit on it, and I gave it to him for Christmas, and he still has it. I think he still has it. I hope he didn't give it away. They've been downsizing a lot in their house. Laraine, where'd you buy the pumpkin spice Cheerios? I think I got those at Harris Teeter, which is a division of Kroger. I've seen them at
most
Target.
groceries should have them.
I've seen them at Walmart. I think Becky had sent me a message and said she couldn't find them around where she lived. You might be able to find them on Amazon.
Yeah, you might be able to.
Go through our Amazon store.
Vera says 1 stone equals 14 pounds.
Thanks,
Well, thank
Vera.
you, Vera.
I knew it was something like that. Cece, you're live, but I went back to the beginning because it came in late, and I'm definitely seing your stream on YouTube. Okay,
Hello,
thanks,
Cece.
Cece. Cece, pick up the guitar and talk to me. Yeah. Can you name that song? No.
Why are you so crazy? Val says, will you do a video on how the body pod works and what all the info means? We probably will not, because quite frankly, I don't really understand what all the info means. But
we'll try to get someone
yeah.
from the Hume company that could speak to it more intelligently. I mean, I
can tell you,
I wish we could tell you more about
the data categories mirrors pretty closely, not exactly, but pretty closely the DEXA scan data. And we sat through what felt like my lifetime of an explanation with the DEXA scan guy.
It was about an hour.
It was decades. It was decades.
Christopher just wasn't into it.
And the question I always get to is all this data is really cool and it's nice to have, but what am I supposed to do with that? And the unfortunate thing about a lot of that data is there's not really a way you can control it.
If you're trying to build muscle and you want, because the body pod will tell you how much muscle is on your right bicep, how much muscle is in your left bicep, how much blah, 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 blah. And you can take readings on it every day, see changes over time. So if you're working out, like Val is really working hard, she's walking a lot of miles a day, 3 miles a day, and doing her Orange Theory Fitness, where she does some resistance things and some cardio things. Like, you want to see results, right? I want something to tell me that I'm doing a good job.
The muscle measurement is the easy part, but there's another 50 pieces of data on that I don't know what you do.
That's why I'm like, yeah, I don't know, Val. Like,
but we'll see if we can't get somebody from Hume to come on and do that, because I still have no idea how the age one is calculated.
The age one is stupid, and none of the age ones are good. Like, don't even look at that biological age, because that's full of crap, unless it says you're younger than you actually are, and then it's 100% right.
Mine says I am the age I am. Knockwind says, anyone has side effects from taking GLP-1 while using creatine monohydrate? I had taken creatine 5 grams before working out, but started having really bad runs, if you get what I mean. Oh, yeah, I get what you mean, Knock.
I have bought some creatine, and I have not started taking the creatine. I know Mindy takes creatine for in an effort to try to build muscle, and I think she likes it. And I think some others of you on here have also had some good experiences with it. But if it's giving you some gastrointestinal distress,
and there may not be a correlation, is the real problem. You may have eaten just maybe the day that the side effects come back, and you can basically, you have one of two choices, right? You can either try it again and see if you have the same problem, or you can say no creatine for me. Because there's no honestly, nobody's gonna know exactly the answer. I have looked up creatine pretty extensively. I've never taken it, but we get asked about creatine all the time. There's a ton of research on creatine out there. I don't know. All right, Lupina 84 says, can you share the pricing for Mochi for Tirzepatide?
Yes, I can. So with Mochi Health, the compounded Tirzepatide is $199 a month, any dose. Same price, any dose. They also charge you $79 a month for a membership fee, and that membership fee covers your online telehealth visits with the doctor. And you can also have unlimited visits with a nutritionist.
And we're not employed by Mochi, so it's, you can use the code or not, but
Yeah,
that's who we get our medication
my code
from.
is QIYG, the letter O, and then the number 8. It's in the description. I think Durham also put it in the comments. So I think they're great. I use them. I recommend them. Genealogy Mama says, I was also listed as morbidly obese on my chart at 282 pounds, and now I'm at 155 pounds, so a little overweight. Goal 132 pounds. Okay, well, that's a long way. Went from wearing a 3X and a 4X to a medium. It has been life-changing. That's great. Congratulations. I know that's made a big difference in your life and how you feel and your health. Doris Goody. I got my DEXA scan. Visceral fat 1.55. That's low, isn't it? Isn't that
I don't know what it should be.
Lean mass 91.5 pounds. RMR 1281. Fat mass 63. There was no tech to go over it with me. Just handed me the report.
Really? Our guy did a whole dog and pony show.
Well, that was the owner of the place that talked to us. That's unfortunate. Visceral fat sounds like super low. What's my visceral fat is 6. And I think that we figured out that's a ratio of something to something. I mean, how tall are you, Doris? I bet you're,
as I recall,
5'1" or 2.
When he showed us visceral fat was essentially an educated guess. And he showed us the scans, and basically he could deduct the fat that were on the edges of your body from the weight of the organs and figure out what was left, and you got to visceral fat. There was an algorithm for it. Val says she has not had that effect from creatine.
Okay.
Becky says, hey, Jojo, good to see you. Jojo is asleep on the table right here.
Hey, Joe. You gonna sit up and talk to the people? She says, no, Mom, I'm tired. I'm a tired kid.
Sandy Shore. Hello, Sandy. Sandy figured out to be a member. That's awesome. I know my shot is working because I didn't buy the hot dogs in Costco because I couldn't figure out what I would do with 24 hot dogs.
Sandy, that's funny. So
that's a lot of hot dogs.
Sandy is my friend that I met in the gym, and Sandy is older than me. I'm not going to say her age, but so she lives in a retirement community, and so wait, did we talk about the Costco hot dogs? I know the ones that you can buy when you go there. People talk about them all the time, but she did not know what she would do with 24 hot dogs. That's funny, Sandy. Anthony says, I used to do intermittent fasting and it was torture. See there, Anthony? LOL. My food noise would just be counting down when to eat. Yeah, I went on this diet one time called the Carbohydrate Addicts Diet. I was in my 20s and I was working in a retail store. I think I was working at the Gap. And you ate no carbs all day long, except for 1 hour a day. You could eat as many carbs, whatever carbs you wanted, but only for 1 hour.
Krispy Kreme. Just have them come off the belt.
Well, Dunkin' Donuts was closer to my apartment. So I would get off work. I'd drive to Dunkin' Donuts. I'd get some donuts. Like, what? And I actually, I think I lost 5 pounds or something. But, I mean, that's no way to live, right? I can't live like that. And I'm not going to eat donuts every day. That was just silly. But, yeah, I've tried all kinds of stuff.
Vera says, I'll bet having a members only channel filters out the antagonist. It does. It also limits the size is the problem. I mean, the way we grow is by having new people find us, right? And this market, the number of patients coming into this or who want to come into it is so big right now that we want to welcome everybody. So that's why we do on Tuesday nights, we have a members only live.
It doesn't
You don't
limit
get all the
anybody to have a
stuff
members only live.
on
We have a regular
but
people
on
live.
Tuesday night we do the members only live, and we get everybody it wants to be there. On Wednesday we open it to the world, so it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma's Pocketbook says, speaking of bad topics, gray market UGG. Yeah, we're with you. Please don't.
Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno. No. Michelle Frank says, my hair totally changed texture, but still full hair, and I love the new texture. Used to be way too thick. Well, there you go. I've also found that as I've gotten older, my hair has just gotten
Val
less.
says it's basically the same thing.
I think it feeds my hair. It's thicker than ever.
Oh, Thomas, this is a gem of a piece of information, I think. He says, question for people who use Lilly vials, including me. If you miss the 45-day refill window, the cost goes up to retail price. However, if you fill the next RX within 45-day, price reverts back to $4.99.
We have heard that.
So the way, if you don't get Lilly Direct, the way it works is they give you a $4.99 price if you fill it every 45 days. If you miss that because you're, for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter. They will bump it up several $100s.
I think it goes to like $7.99.
Yeah, they bump it up $700. So according to Thomas, if you then pick it up within the next 45 days, it goes back down to $4.99. We get that question all the time. So thank you, Thomas.
Like, what happens if my price goes up? Will it be up forever? No, if you refill.
Round mound of Zepbound. Charles, how are you doing, sir? I saw your what was it? I saw one of your news things the other day. Doing good. Looked like you were feeling well. Reach out. I did an interview with Charles. Gosh, it's probably been a year now. Charles, former D1 athlete, got injured, gained a lot of weight, and he's been through a lot. And he's got a channel, so make sure you go check out Round Mound of Zepbound. And maybe we'll see if we can't get Charles back on to do a follow up and see how he's doing as well.
Awaken Shanitha. YouTube was down in my area. I was so upset. Oh, all right. Sorry about that, Shanitha. Well, I'm glad you're back with us now. Michelle Frank says, remember to hit the like button. All right, we're up to 69 likes.
215 of you, 69 likes.
Okay, cool. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Michelle, for the reminder. Traveling T, have either of you come across someone you haven't seen in years and they did not recognize you?
No, but we both get like random Facebook messages and text messages from people we worked with. I had somebody that I worked with before we got married at the Greenville News when I worked for the newspaper. It's been 25 years. And we've been friends on Facebook for years, but I hadn't seen her. Patty
Quinn?
Yeah, Patty.
Oh, I went to high school with Patty Quinn.
So we both knew the same lady, but we didn't know that. I reached out and she goes, you guys look great.
What are you trying to say, Patty? Yeah, no, actually, Patty was roommates with my sister wasn't she roommates with my sister? Or they're just friends in high school. Anyway, randomly, we grew up in the same town in Greenville, South Carolina, but we went to different high schools and we never met until like I went to college, got married, got divorced, met him. So,
so Brooklyn Joy says the time is 2.5 or 5. You can go anytime between orders. It's the 7.5 you must order. It's actually every 45 days, and it's all the doses at 7.5 and up, so all the way up to 15.
Gotcha. Thanks, Brooklyn Joy.
Joseph says he's already bought.
Yeah, for men, it's this might be a little different. But yeah, we've our Mochi commercial is still running. We filmed a commercial with Mochi Health back in February, and they are just really running the heck out of that commercial. So you might see us playing pickleball, or you might see Christopher cooking a piece of salmon and me looking on like, how do you cook, Christopher?
So I just saw you on, was that you in a commercial on ESPN?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
it's
me.
On like all these streaming services. Our daughter saw it. She was at NC State in their student union, and they had like giant TVs, and she's sitting there with her friends hanging out, and all of a sudden she said, I heard my father's voice. And I looked up on the TV. And they were my parents.
In the student union, it's this giant 3-story foyer with like a food court in it. And this TV must be 25 foot. It is a huge TV. So
yeah, and her friends were like, why are you taking a picture of the TV
She was videoing it.
screens?
She sent
And
it to
she's
us.
like, that's my parents. Yeah, people I haven't seen since high school or college or jobs from long ago message me on Facebook or, send me messages and like, I just saw you on TV.
Bev says, got my hat today. Thank you. And the
Aw.
cute Jojo pin. So periodically we give stuff away. For
You're
our
welcome,
2-year
Bev.
anniversary, we gave away hats and bags and stuff.
Mhm.
If you come to one of the meetups, you're likely to get a Jojo pin. There's some miscellaneous stuff we'll be handing out as well. So happy you got that, Bev.
Yeah. Oh, I sent to them, I don't think they've gotten yet because I got a message that said I calculated it wrong or I measured it wrong or something, and the post office wanted an additional $1.20 before they would deliver my package.
Sorry.
So I think that was someone who lived in Nevada. So if that's you, it's on the way. Margaret Mitchum, 40 pounds down. Yay, 5 months on Zepbound. Yay, Margaret. Good job, good job, good job. Good job, good job. All right, Christopher Durham. Not your average weight loss. I reached a milestone a few days ago and lost 40 pounds. Woo-woo! I've gained muscle and feeling awesome on compounded Tirzepatide 3.0 milligrams. I love you guys in GLP-1s. Well, thanks, not your average weight loss. Are you above average? You must be above average. One Mybrid, I have to say thank you both, as I've learned a lot here since my start. I watch a lot of videos. GLP family is great. Well, thanks for watching. We're glad that you're here. If you guys want to join our membership group, our what is it called, Christopher?
Club Downsized.
Club Downsized. There's a join button, probably right below where you're seeing me talking. Don't click it now. You click it later because they'll take you to another video. And if you'd like to support us further, maybe to get some extra content for members only, occasionally I post some videos up there and some different things in there. And then you also get access to our members only live show on Tuesday nights. So you can check that out.
One Mybrid says, yes, keep taking the shot. That's my philosophy. You know that, just take your shot. Becky Clark says obesity needs a new name. So Becky, I did a whole video on that. Go back and look for it.
Yeah.
And there's 4 or 5 different names that aren't too bad that have been proposed out there. So take a look and see what you think, because I think it's coming. It just may be a couple of years.
Or maybe we just need to like say it so many times that it's not offensive anymore.
I don't know.
Possible?
I think it's just the wrong word, honestly. I do think it's the wrong word.
All right. I'm all for a new name. Vera says, just checked my chart and low. Nuh-uh, Vera. What's it say? Does it say the same thing Christopher said? So I think doctors forget that we can see their notes that they're typing while we're sitting there. Because I've gone through, I go through them all the time. Elizabeth Petrie says, I thought I was having side effects from 7.5 Zepbound dose, but turns out it was my gallbladder warning me and wanted to come out. Try not to assume it's always a shot. Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. Stay close.
With your doctor. I've had a really unusual reaction lately to my estrogen patch. They prescribed me a different. I didn't even prescribe the. CVS gave me a different generic. I guess they can fill with whatever generic they have, and I got a different one. And I must have left it on maybe a day too long. And when I pulled it off, kind of like ripped some of my skin off. And now I have like a red welt.
Yes.
And so I messaged through the MyChart yesterday, and I said, I have this. It looks like this. It's this size. It's been here this long. They're like, can you send a picture? Okay, here's a picture. They're like, have you used any creams on it? I said that. I've used Neosporin. I've used a Benadryl cream. Anyway, today I got a cream from the CVS. They called it something in for me. So if you have that ability to message your doctor, like if something's wrong, please don't hesitate. Aida says, since YouTube didn't freak out, I can share. I am down to 139 pounds this morning, 139.5. I have not weighed 139 pounds for 34 years. Still 10 milligrams, so I'm going to continue 10 while it's still working. Excellent job. Excellent job. Isn't that amazing to get to those weights that you've maybe never seen as an adult? I mean, I got down, my lowest weight was 138. I don't ever remember weighing that, like maybe in the 8th grade, maybe. But yeah, congratulations. That's great. That's great.
Well, Anita says horehound candy has a black licorice or root beer taste to it. I've never had that. Okay.
I don't know about that one.
Brooklyn Joy says love licorice.
So
Pam Morris says, my insurance won't cover. Do you have any suggestions about other sources for GLP-1s? So essentially you have two options, right? So
I think I've said Mochi Health several times in this video.
Let's start with the first, well, we have three options. The first you've already said didn't work, so your insurance will not cover it. The second is to use one of the branded drugs, Zepbound from Eli Lilly or Wegovy from Novo Nordisk, and they have basically discount price, cash price programs that, assuming you're eligible for the coupon, can get it down to $499 a month.
There's no coupon with the direct.
There on the Novo, there absolutely is.
Not
it is part of the
Lilly
savings
direct.
card. On the Lilly, it is not. However, if that's still too much, you can go telehealth and use a compounder. And as Laraine said a couple of times, who is the telehealth and the compounder that we use?
We use Mochi Health. So Mochi Health is $1.99 a month for compounded.
It's not $1.99. That would be super cheap.
$1, and that wouldn't it be amazing if that were $199 a month for compounded Tirzepatide, any dose, plus a $79 membership fee. Compounded Semaglutide is $99 a month, also $79 a month membership fee. You can use my code. It's QIY, the letter O, and the number 8. It's in the description, and there's also a link. You can go to joinmochi.com. That's the cheapest I found. There are some other telehealth companies that I've seen one or two that are cheaper, but they don't ship to our state. So not every telehealth company ships to every state. So you might want to look around and see what's best for you.
Basically, that gets you right under 300 and right under 200.
Yeah.
The caveat I would give you on telehealth companies selling compounded is you should be talking to a real prescriber, a doctor,
Yes.
or
you should
someone like that, and make sure that they're actually prescribing what is the right medication for you, and make sure that you have resources that can back you up, whether that be to call and ask a question, what have you. So, but it's certainly cheaper. That being said, none of it's super cheap.
With Mochi, you have to talk to a doctor either on a Zoom call or on a telephone call. If the Zoom doesn't work, one time my Zoom didn't work, we had talked on the phone. But you definitely have to talk to a doctor at Mochi to get a prescription. And sometimes they don't prescribe. Like if you're 5 or 10 pounds overweight, they're not just going to give you the medicine. Super. Thank you, Dr. Payne Nestor, for your $4.99 super chat. Hi, everyone. 148.5 this morning. It was my college weight.
It's awesome.
I'm 50 now. Well, you sure don't look 50.
And I saw you scheduled an interview. I'm excited to get to talk to you.
So we're going to learn more about Dr. Payne coming up soon. Dr. Payne Nestor.
Dr. Payne Nestor. Let's see where we were.
Where's all the likes today? Well, YouTube's doing something weird. And so if you can, hit the like and it might go through, or something weird's happening. So
Sandy says you can say her age.
You can say my age, 77.
And Doris Goody is 5'5", pounds.
Oh, that visceral fat number is super low, Doris. I don't know that means anything, but it just seems super low.
Sandy says make sure you tell everyone she exercises.
Yes. So Sandy works out with me. We worked out together on this past Monday. We did our bar exercise class, and Sandy also does yoga.
And Anna's 70.
Anna's 70. Yeah. You guys are you're killing it out
Linda
here.
Bookmiller, 77.
Oh, are you really? My goodness. Yeah. We have lived in interesting times. Yes, you have, Linda. So, yeah, I always wonder, Well, your Mochi commercial was playing on your daughter's school, and she's TV, and she saw that's so trippy. Yeah, she was not pleased, but it was kind of funny though, looking back in retrospect. You know, I always wonder, when I get to age 77, will I still be trying to maintain my weight or worried about my weight? And the answer is yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, my mom's 80. I think I was talking about this on the member live last night. My mom's just turned 80, and she was telling us when we saw her a couple weeks ago for her birthday that she had gone to her doctor and said, I want to lose 15 pounds. She doesn't really have 15 pounds to lose. And the doctor told her, well, you could go on a calorie restricted diet, and you could cut your calories by, 500 calories a day or something, and you could probably lose some weight. But once you stop eating in that calorie deficit, it will come right back on, and you don't need to lose weight. I don't know if she was looking to him to maybe like prescribe her GLP-1 because I've had so much success. I don't think so, but I mean, she's walking 3 miles a day. She's very active. So, and she's 80, and still wants to be a certain size and wear her certain clothes and all the things. So I guess I get it from my mama.
Conservative Denker says, interested to hear if you read the recent case study on metabolism by Dr. Holden Tudix. I have not. I have a folder on my computer that has usually 10 or 12 different PDFs of research studies or links to JAMA or New England Journal of Health or whoever it is that's on my list. This morning, actually, I read 3 this morning, including the one that was all over the news from Consumer Reports testing protein powders for lead. If you didn't take a look at that.
Is that hamburger a face? Do I see a face
I think
in
it is. It kind of looks like what's his name
like
that hosts the Family Feud?
Yeah. What is that guy's name? I don't remember. No, we'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I've got it. So ask me next week, and maybe I'll have it.
There's a super chat next. Linda Amazing says, I'm on
Mounjaro.
Started March 2024. Only down 50 pounds. What do you mean only?
Girl, never say only down 50 pounds.
But down several
Every day you're down 50 pounds is a good day.
And lots of compliments. Slow and slow, but it's working. Mounjaro, if you're on type 2 diabetes, we know that those folks usually lose weight a little slower than the average. Dr. Payne Nestor, thank you for your second super chat of $4.99. Also, I forgot to say I tried New Pharmacy and got the blue Mochi container again. Yay, the blue box is back. Adios Empower for now. Yeah, so I was getting shipments from Empower from about March to about August. And then I got changed to a pharmacy called DCA. And then the latest shipment came from a pharmacy called Medavera. And both DCA and Medavera came to me in the blue Mochi box that we used to have about this time a year ago, and in the blue Mochi thermos. So Mochi ships their products. Empower ships this gigantic styrofoam cooler with this little bitty baby vial in it. And the Mochi box is just a very small box. It's got a Mochi thermos. It's got some cold, freezy rods in there with the little vial is in there. And it's all very compact. So I like the fact that the Mochi box lands on my porch and people don't think like I'm donating a kidney or something like the styrofoam.
Well, but what's happening
from Empower
with Mochi and a number of the telehealths is they're pulling more pharmacies in such that they can give patients options. So you'll begin to see, because they've been saying they're doing personalized medicine, and well, now you might have 3, 4, 5 options. Then you might get to choose you and your prescriber can choose your pharmacy. You can choose what additive. You can choose dosing strategies. So the goal is to get a personalized treatment plan for you, and that can only really happen by using multiple pharmacies like that. Let's see. Leanne Neal says, my doctor uses a local compound pharmacy. It cost me $200 with no membership fee. Great.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Sunshine at Lily B. I'm eagerly waiting for my HSA for 2026. Extremely helpful to pay for Lily Direct. Yeah, those HSA health savings account dollars. Leanne Nail says, I'm on my 3rd week and I've lost 11 pounds. Well, good job, Leanne. You go, girl. You're doing it. Congratulations. We got another super chat from Linda Amazing. $9.99. Well, thank you for your super chat, Linda. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Scroll. I know.
Are we ending? Are we getting to the end here?
Oh no, I'm just scrolling.
You're just scrolling. All right. Well, whenever you're ready.
I'm doing the best I can. Some days is easier than other. I'm learning about whorehound candy.
Oh. Seems like something that was maybe like a popular long ago that is no longer popular.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Things change.
Have y'all bought your Halloween candy yet?
Vera says her BMI is 33.
I think. All right. I don't really look at BMIs. We talked to a doctor. What was that doctor? Dr. G. In Florida, and he used BMI as just a screening tool, and he wanted his patients to get to a 27 BMI or lower. And if you ask me what's my BMI, I don't know. I don't. It's on my scale app.
Lynn Zirkle says she's a female with alopecia. I'm bald too. One thing I didn't have to worry about. Well, there you go.
All right, Lynn. Well, you got a nice hat there.
Mel and Buddy and Grandpa. If I just went up to 5 milligram and literally can't bring myself to eat more than 3 bites, should I go back to 2.5 or split it and try like 2.5 on Saturday and 2.5 on like Wednesday? First of all, we're not doctors, so we don't make, but if you can't eat anything, you do indeed need to eat. So I would definitely talk to your prescriber, and maybe those options don't sound like bad options, but talk to your doctor.
Well, and in the beginning, when Christopher and Laraine started
2 years ago,
compounded Tirzepatide, I can remember eating like 5 bites at dinner and being like, I'm done. Now it doesn't stay like that forever. So your body will adjust to the medication. Make sure that you're eating your protein first in those first 3 bites. So you're getting some protein into your body. You could go back to 2.5 if you continue for a few weeks on 5 and you still are not able to eat. You could go back down. And I have heard people splitting their doses, like a 2.5 on Sunday and a 2.5 on Wednesday. Ask your doctor. That works for a lot of people. Personally, I don't like to take more than 1 shot per week, but if that's something that doesn't bother you, I mean, maybe work with your doctor, maybe try it and see how you feel. Keep some good notes, see what results you get.
Greenleaf says, I think doctors use morbidly obese as a medical term, not a social judgment, because it's a disease. It is at ascribed judgment.
Like a judgment.
No, you're exactly right.
Yeah,
it is a medical term. Right. I think the challenge is, first of all, it was just a little startling because it was in a place that it really should. There would be no reason to write that I was morbidly obese and diagnosing an ear infection.
It wasn't like she checked a box.
Plus, no matter how medical it is, it still hurts a little bit. It's still,
Yeah, and obesity. Yes, obesity is a disease. Obesity is a disease. It's a chronic, progressive disease, and these GLP-1 medications are not cures. They are treatments for the disease of obesity. We have the disease of obesity. It's not my fault that I have the disease of obesity. So, my body just doesn't produce enough GLP-1s on its own. So I'm constantly thinking of food. I'm constantly looking for food, and nothing ever seemed to fill my stomach up before I had GLP-1s on board. So there you go.
Did we do this one? Oh, we did Leanne. So it's you again. Leanne, we did you already. Let's see here.
I think her last name is Nail, or she does nails. Michelle Frank says, enjoyed tonight, but exhausted, so calling it a night. Thank you for all you do. Thanks, Michelle. Michelle sent me a message. She was trying to figure out how to get more protein in, and she figured out that the vitamins she was taking was causing her some bloating and stuff. So sometimes, you got to problem solve. You got to look at every little single thing that you're taking. Also, another good tip I learned today from Val in Florida was she tracks her fiber gummies in her food tracking app. I use the Me Again app. We're sponsored by Me Again. So I was like, oh, and Val uses Me Again too. And I guess she scanned the barcode and it puts the fiber in there. I'm like, well, duh. If I'm trying to track my fiber, if I'm trying to track my protein, why wouldn't I do that? So thanks for that.
All right, there's 200 of you out there and 99 likes. So after a really slow start with the 5 likes for like an hour, now we got 100. Yay. Tammy Runyon says, I think it's time for Mochi to run a deal, maybe lower their membership fee. I suspect, Tammy, that the telehealths are kind of hanging out at their prices right now, waiting to see what's going to happen with Lilly and Novo. Theoretically, if you believe the current administration and their whole MFN policy, they're trying to get prices down. So I think the telehealths are like, we're selling okay, let's see what happens, and if we need to react in price. So they're all playing chicken to see who's going to move first.
Yeah, I mean, the $199 plus the $79, it's not, it's still not cheap, right? I'd love to see it less than that, but at least it's not $1,000, which it would be if I had to buy the branded without insurance, or with a coupon I can get Zepbound with the manufacturer coupon for $650, and that's just that's crazy, right?
Thank you, Anthony. You're right. That's who I was thinking of, Steve Harvey.
Yes, the hamburger is Steve Harvey. Anthony knows all the pop culture stuff. Donna Johnson says, still waiting to get clarification from my Caremark PBM sources, excluded Zepbound at Caremark PBM. I'll share as soon as I get more solid info. I think all the appeals created. I'm sorry, Donna. I'm not looking at you. Created pressure. Stay tuned. Donna's in this business. So yeah, Donna, let us know what you find out. Oh, hey, Lily. Any reason we measure with the extra 1/10 of a decimal?
Because it's on my scale.
You mean our weight? I round to the whole number. The difference of 5/10 of a pound seems minimal, especially with daily water weight and variations, and long-term trend is what matters. Now, Lily, you are a younger person, and I'm so glad that you were watching this channel because you give me hope for the future. Because I have been going and I've been weighed on Weight Watchers scales since about 1985, long before you were born. And they used to have the doctor scale where they tap, 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 tap. And then you had the little weights that balanced. And when the little thing got to the middle, then they wrote down your weight. And it weighed in
and there was 2 different arms. There was one big arm that had a big chunk and one little arm that could do the like tenths
and it was
things.
Exciting when you went down a whole chunk. Like people, it's like Wonderland now, because if you went from like 150 to 100, or if you went from 200 to 150, and then they had to add. Anyway, you've probably never even weighed.
You're right, Lily. I think it's just because that's what the scale says. So
when you have been influenced by diet culture for so many years, like I have, and like so many of women have been and men have been, I'm fighting for every single pound, right? So I'm recording down to whatever measure my scale is given me, because
if there were a third decimal point, she'd write it down.
I'd write it down. I would. And you're absolutely right. It's minimal. Daily water weight variations, long-term trends. So Lily, don't you be looking at that. You just look at that whole number, Lily. And I like that attitude. You give me hope for the future.
Stanley Tokar says, I'm on 5 Zepbound, soon to start 7.5. I've had no side effects on 5. Will it be the same when I move up to 7.5? Maybe. I
don't know.
Honestly, probably it'll be the same, but you never know. Your body is going to work like it wants to work.
Maybe no.
And side effects are a magical mystery tour on these medications. And some weeks you might wake up and have. I would say just monitor it. I wouldn't worry about it.
Make sure you're well hydrated, you're well rested. Before you take your shot, eat a high protein meal, 30 grams or more. Some people report it helps with side effects. We always do that. Does it help? Maybe. I mean, there's certainly no studies on it, but everybody reacts to this medicine different. And Christopher even says the same dose some weeks affects them differently than other weeks, even within the same vial of medicine. So it's not like
every dose is different every week.
It's a different batch or something. But sometimes.
What Kirky, man? How you been? I hadn't seen you in a while. He says my PCP moved. The new one saw my 100-pound loss, blood pressure, liver levels, and cholesterol all normally fine. His first reaction was, "Let's wean you off GLP-1s." I dropped him fast. There you go, girl, dude. Good
Don't
for
say
you.
Girl.
Yeah.
Well, and people, that's the first question I get out of a lot of people. Do you have to stay on this forever? When are you going to come off the medication? Well, never. Probably because, I know what my life was like before GLP-1s. I could never keep any weight off. And now I can. So it didn't cure me. It's just treating my disease. So
thanks, Woodkirky.
Travis LR says at Stanley Tokarts, I had no issues with the move from 5 to 7.5. I really don't think I did either.
No,
Travis.
I didn't. Yeah.
Grandma's Pocketbook said, my PCP is not very helpful when it comes to my choice of GLP-1. I'm on Medicare, so it doesn't pay. And with my limited income, I have to go compounded. Wonder if Mochi would be good for me. Well, it'll probably be cheaper if you're not covered by your insurance.
You go online and see what it looks like for you.
Yeah, you could go online and check it out. It's probably going to be cheaper. I mean, I've done all my shots except for 1 or 2 have been compounded. It works. It works just as good. BMI is 33 and morbidly obese. Oh, is that what they wrote in your chart, Vera? I'm sorry. Grandma's Pocketbook. I hated those scales. You want to slap the hand moving the weight bar. What does that mean?
Stop.
Yeah, she's just like, dink, dink, and you're holding your breath. You're like, please, Lord, don't let it move anymore. Mel and Buddy and Grandpa. At Grandma's Pocketbook, my PCP is clueless too. He prescribed the medication, but seems not to know or want to bother with when to titrate up or diet to follow. I'm going to look at Mochi too. We hear that all the time, Mel and Buddy and Grandpa, that their doctor says, here's your prescription. See you in 6 months. So that's why, we have so many people coming out here looking for information. And, we're happy to share our knowledge, although we're not doctors. I count the decimals. Of course you do, Dr. Payne. Any lady over in her 50s counts the decimals. Silver Health Quest says, I wish I could get my water number to move on my smart scale. No matter how much I drink water, it says low. This is interesting. This is interesting. Do you think it's your scale? Do you think your water is actually low? Mine fluctuates all the time. Mine's usually around 50-something%. And I have noticed if I'm not diligent about drinking a couple of these a day, my hydration isn't as good. My water percent.
So has it gone up as you've lost weight? Because my water number, basically if you zoom out to the year, right? If you zoom out to the year, not the day to day or the week to week, do you have an upward trend? Because my upward water trend almost is exactly the opposite of my downward weight trend. It just kind of, and it even mimics stalls in the whole 9 yards.
Mine stays around 55%, and
mine's 54.5.
Yeah. Have you ever tried using electrolytes in your water? Because the electrolytes helps your body hold on to the water. And I actually find I'm less thirsty when I'm using electrolytes. So I don't know, just something to look at or maybe ask your doctor about. But, the salt does help you hold that water better.
Lily says, I agree overall the disease is not our fault. However, environment factors don't help us make obvious good choices. Food is as delicious as ever, and compared to 50 years ago, it's as cheap as ever, fast food. So I'm working on a video, Lily, that's talking directly to that. It comes from a bunch of interesting research, but essentially there's really 22 factors, believe it or not, that contribute to this disease that can all be clustered into these 5 mega trends that create this overarching obesogenic environment, right? And I won't go into the details because it's going to be like a 30-minute video, but there is so much going on, and there's so much that's changed in the last 100 years in our food, our society, our genetics, our everything, that's all impacting it and driving it as a disease. And once it becomes a disease, the real challenge is it exists. So whether you believe there was a disease or not doesn't really matter. We now have to treat it as a disease. So how do we fix the problem that exists?
Well, and if you think about, Lily, you're younger than me, but if you think about growing up and living at home with your parents, I wasn't buying food. I wasn't going to as a 10-year-old, I couldn't go through a fast food drive-through, right? So I had the food that my parents gave me, and we didn't eat a lot of fast food. We ate a lot of processed food because my mom was maybe not, didn't really cook all that much. But, I think even, I guess what I'm trying to say is even as a child, I had a weight problem, and it wasn't because I was eating fast food all the time. I wasn't controlling where I was getting food. I was getting food at my home with my parents. So,
so what this research says is there's 22 factors, and the vast majority of people that have what would be a diagnosable obesity as a disease typically have between 5 and 10 of those factors that have all contributed to it. Genetics being one of them, environment being one of them, food being one of them, poverty being one of them, trauma being one of them. Well, the lady we interviewed just the other day had a medical condition that never even occurred to me. So it's all these things, and it's never, and that's why it's complex and chronic. It's never the one thing.
Progressive disease.
So our environment's just gotten so much.
But the environment doesn't help, right? It certainly doesn't help. Silver Health Quest. I usually get in 2 liters per day. It hardly moves, about 43%. How many liters? It's like 64 ounces in a 2-liter bottle. So that's 120 something ounces of.
And he uses electrolytes regularly.
But the scale's moving down 7 pounds in the last 10 days after staying steady for 3 weeks in a row. Whoosh. I mean, maybe that's just your norm.
When was the last time you had blood work done?
Yeah, I would get some blood work done. Maybe ask your doctor if you're really concerned about it. And yeah, I mean, maybe there's a reason, but maybe that's just how you are. I don't know. That's an interesting problem. Lucinda Wursig started Ozempic 5 weeks ago using their assistance program. Got notice today the program will no longer help Medicare patients in 2026 as we have Medicare.
Sorry to hear that.
That stinks. I'm sorry. Anthony, I don't even think I knew obesogenic was a word until I watched one of your doctor interviews. Yeah, no, I'd never. Obesogenic? What the heck does that mean? I'd certainly never heard that before we started doing this channel. Maybe it's something that's just come to be in use in the last 5 years. I don't even know, right? But yeah, there's all kinds of weird words. Junetta Washington, has anyone?
Yeah.
Or Juanetta?
This is one of her favorite questions.
Oh, has anyone experienced any loss of interest in intimacy being on a GLP? If you're a woman of a certain age and you're premenopausal, perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal, hormones are fluctuating, right? And so go to your doctor and get your estrogen levels checked. Maybe you need an estrogen patch. Maybe you need a progesterone pill. Maybe you need testosterone. Those hormones affect all kinds of things in our bodies, and people don't tell us that, right? Like, nobody told me menopause was gonna, like, what to expect or what. No, like, and why not? Every woman goes through menopause. Every woman will go through menopause. Like, why isn't this more talked about? Anyway, that's my
all right.
non-answer
Libby
to your
Moore
question.
says, what's the deal with all the posts about lizard venom and the medication causing blindness? So that's two different things going on there. So the very, very early discoveries of GLP-1s were discovered basically and were drawn, it was pre-liraglutide even, in the Gila monster venom. Okay. That was never commercialized. It never happened. So the medications that are made today do not have Gila monster venom in them. They're all a manufactured drug. And if you watch we have an interview with Condi Carmack, a molecular biologist, who's a buddy of ours, we talk about that a little bit, but there's no lizard venom in it either. We've done a lot of reporting on blindness with these medications. The first thing you have to know is that, unfortunately, the rate of type 2 diabetes in people who suffer with obesity is very high. And if you have type 2 diabetes, you are much more likely to lose your sight. The other thing is there is a very small occurrence of what's called NION, and it stands for something, and honestly, I couldn't tell you what it is, but if you search there, we've done whole videos on the research. That is, I think, 0.002, so 2/1000ths of a percentage point of people that are susceptible could lose their vision from NION, basically, in using these drugs. So there is a very small number of people who have issues with it. Again, one of those reasons why you need to talk to your doctor and have a real physician that deals with you on a regular basis and monitors things like that, because there are very real side effects to these medications. If you don't know them, talk to your doctor, read the manufacturer's instructions. You can go to Lilly's site and to Novo Nordisk site and see all of those things. It is not a common occurrence, though. It's not. All right, are we about done here? I think people are starting to say, I'm out of here. Here's Grant Campbell. He's registered for the cruise.
Hey, Grant Campbell. Just registered for your cruise in June. Thank you for all the information and encouragement you all provide. Yes, Mindy told us that you're a friend of hers, so welcome. We're
love to have you, man.
We're ready to meet you in June, so welcome to that. I think I also added you to the Downsized Cruisers Facebook group. I think that was you. I've got a Facebook group for the Downsized Cruisers.
So
only people who have registered and paid for the cruise can be in that group.
Yep. So watch out, because in less than 10 days, we will actually be on that ship, and we will film some videos from that ship, promoting the cruise, showing you around the ship, kind of doing some fun stuff there. So
we're going on a cruise to get ready for our cruise.
We've never been on it, so we need to see where the events will be and do that kind of fun stuff.
And we got a cheap price, so still hurricane season. So
and Don Johnson says the menopause talk woke Jojo.
Jojo knows what's up, right?
Say hello, Jojo.
Jojo says, "Oh, it's been such a nice day for a kitty lately. It's been nice.
She loves the nice weather.
Oh, and now she's attacking. Now she says,
all
no
right.
more.
Well, it has now been 2 hours and 12 minutes. There's 223 of you out there and 115 likes. Thank you very much. We're sorry that YouTube was causing issues early on, but we get through. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out. We're always happy to chat. Stay tuned. We're doing a interview with a professor from Northern Michigan University that will run tomorrow.
I'm sorry.
That gives you the opportunity to participate in research about GLP-1s and the psychology of it. So you can actually go in and fill it in. It's super cool research that they will then come back and present to us, him and his team. So make sure you watch that video tomorrow, because it's very, very cool. And we're really the first ones, you downsizers out there, the first ones to be able to hear about this. So we're excited about it. We're actually going to do an interview. One of his college students who's helping out, is 19 years old, has been successful in GLP-1. She's going to come on and do an interview as well and talk to us about it. That will be the youngest person we've had on it for an interview,
How old is
19
she?
years old.
19?
19. Yep. So stay tuned
If only
because
we knew
that's a
another
lot.
19-year-old who would like to be
If
on
we could talk our child into it, but she will not do that. All right, that is it for us this evening. Make sure you've liked and subscribed. We are so close to 30,000 subscribers right now, and I would love to get there this week. So go and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. Make sure to alert you every time we publish a video, go live, you name it. My name is Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And we are the Downsized.
That's Jojo Durham. Bye. Thanks for watching.